Happy Friday. Cold out there, huh? And dark. It's winter. This morning we're going to do a half mandala flow. So it would probably be best if you oriented your mat this way instead of this way to the screen. It's a little easier to teach it and a little easier for you to see what I'm trying to communicate to you. So meet me on your back. A couple blocks could be helpful if you have them, but we can manage without if you don't. And try to orient yourself the same way I am as you look into the screen. We'll just start on the back with the feet on the floor. Maybe constructive rest, heel toe the feet to the left and right edges of the mat and let the knees just drop together. Lay those arms out there someplace where they're comfortable. As you become aware of the breath, see if you can lift and arch your back on an inhale. And as you exhale, press the back down to the floor. And if this is a strain on the knees in this shape, you can always just bring the feet hip distance apart or even lay the legs out long. Inhale, arc the back. Exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale. You can even work into a little baby bridge here, just a little bridge, and then back down. Inhale. Exhale, press and lift. Back down. Let's do 3 more. Here's 1. And 2. And 3. And then bring the back down to the mat. Let's take a good morning stretch. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, draw the knees to the chest. Do some circling through the hips. And play. You can go the same direction. Same direction's kind of fun because you get that nice massage of the low back. But if you take them in opposite directions, that's interesting as well. Now keep the left leg out and the right leg in. Although I probably should mirror you like this if we're in the same orientation. So it might be your right leg. Your left leg is closest to the screen. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to draw that knee into the chest. Do some circling through that ankle. One way and then the other. Let's open the knee out to the left. Right arm's out on the mat. Take the gaze to the right. And breathe. Come back to the center and we'll take that across the body. Take the gaze now to the left. We're drawing the knee over to the right. And then feel the sensation back here in your glutes and your piriformis muscle. And back to center. Now draw both knees up to the chest and we're going to rock up to a seated position. Sukhasana. So facing this way. Inhale, swing your arms up. Exhale, drop the right hand, reach over to the right. Inhale, swing your arms up. Exhale, left hand over to the floor, right hand up and over towards the left. Let's do 1 more each side. Little side bends here. Now roll over your knees and come to child's pose. Let the head come down to the mat. I'm going to keep my chin lifted for the sake of the microphone, for the sake of your ears. And breathe up and down the back. Reach long with the hands. You may need to scoot back a little bit. We're going to come up into table, but with the cat back. And then exhale back. Keep going, coming up into cat back. And then back to child's pose. This time cat back. And then kind of swoop into cow. Back to cat as you come back to child's pose. Do 2 more of those. Swooping, feeling that ripple of flexion and extension up and down the spine. Last one. And then meet me in a neutral spine. Reach back with the right leg, come onto the ball of the foot, push through the heel, stretch the calf muscle. Now lift with the heel, reach out with the left hand, coming into bird dog. And then we'll add a little knee to elbow touch, rounding the back as you draw the knee to the elbow, and then back to more of a neutral spine as you reach long. Now back to bird dog, and we're going to bring the right foot forward. Help it out if you need to, and rise up. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw your right hip back and let the left hip wrap forward. Take your hands to heart. Kneeling lunge, and then we'll take this into Anjaneyasana by sinking forward and down, lifting the prayer. Breathe. And then exhale back to the kneeling lunge. Take both hands to the inside of the right foot. We're going to tuck the toes on the left, lift the knee. Now walk with your hands and your feet to the other end of the mat. Drop your knee, table to child's pose. And breathe. A ripple forward with the spine, cat back to cow, cat to cow. I need to add a child's pose in there, so cat to child's pose, swoop forward to cow. Feeling that ripple of movement. And then come to neutral. Now the left foot reaches back. Come onto the ball of the foot, press through the heel. Lift with the heel, reach out with the right arm. Round through the back as you bring elbow to knee to elbow. We'll do 3 more. Now keep the leg lifted, plant the hand, and we're going to swing that left foot forward, rising up in our kneeling lunge. Take your hands to your hips. Right hip wraps forward, left hip draws back. Keep that engagement and sink forward and down if that feels good. Anjaneyasana. Now exhale the hands to heart center. Come to table. Cross the ankles behind you. Find Sukhasana. Inhale your arms up. Come to goddess. And then twist to the right. Inhale overhead. Goddess. Twist to the left. Let's do 2 more of these on each side. Wake up the spine. 1 more each way. And then exhale the hands home to the heart. Find your way to your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Do some circling through the hips. And remember, play around with opposite directions with the movement, same direction. See what you like. Now extend the right leg long and draw the left leg in. Move through that left ankle, some circles, maybe wiggling the toes. Open the left knee to the left, right arm out on the floor, take the gaze to the right. Back to center, we're going to draw the knee across the body, coming into a little twist. Left arm out on the floor, take the gaze to the left as the knee goes to the right. And then back to center. Let's take a good morning stretch. Draw your knees to your chest and rock up to a seat. Roll over the knees. Find table. Tuck the toes. Down dog. And wiggle and move here. Find some space. And then find stillness. You can bend your knees a lot, press your belly towards your thighs, let your head hang. And as you inhale, send the sit bones straight up as you reach down towards the mat with the heels. So when we started, we were in child's pose, rounding our back as we came up into table. Use that same movement as you round the back, shift forward into plank. And then back to down dog. Round the back, shift forward into plank. And back to down dog. This time we'll round the back, shift forward into plank. Option to lower the hips a bit as you come into spinal extension. So your back bend, kind of a modified up dog, rounding the back as you come into down dog. Move through this 3 more times. Last one. And meet me in down dog. Swing your left leg back and up and bend the knee. Now as you shift forward into kind of a 3-legged plank, you may have to look at the screen. I'm keeping my left shin kind of parallel to the floor and swinging it like a swing set. Back and forth. And then back to 3-legged dog. You can extend that leg long. Shift forward like a swing. And then back up. One more. And back up. This time we're going to step the foot forward. Help it out if you need to. Keep that back knee lifted. Make sure you're on railroad tracks. Rise up. Hands to hips. Left hip back, right hip wraps forward. Maybe even bend the right knee a bit. Scoop the tailbone under and then straighten the leg any amount. You may not get it completely straight. Bring the hands to heart. Lift the prayer. Crescent lunge. Breathe. Exhale, fold forward, take both hands to the inside of the foot. We're going to pivot towards the long end of the mat into Prasarada, so feet are parallel. Bring the hands to the floor, to the mat, so the wrists are right under the shoulders. So this is kind of a halfway lift. Send the thighs and the hip bones back. At the same time, you're reaching forward through the crown of the head. And then just shift forward and back here, a little agility. Let's do 3 more each way. I come to stillness and walk to your right. We're going to rise up in our lunge. Make sure the feet are on railroad tracks. Right hip back, left hip forward. Bend the knee a little bit, scoop the tailbone, smooth the ribs, and then reach through the heel. Hands to heart. Lift the prayer. And hold. Where do you feel the stretch? Deep in the psoas, but there's also a stretch going on back here in the right glute. A little less intense in my body. As you exhale, hands come to the mat, framing that front foot, step back and down dog. Wiggle here a bit. We're going to round the back, coming into our plank. And keep the spine rounded as you come back to down dog. Keep going. And then we'll add that modified up dog, so coming into a back bend. And then to down dog. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And then meet me in down dog. Swing the right leg back and up, so this will be a little out of order. Bend the knee. Ripple forward into a 3-legged plank, and we're going to do the little swing with the shin parallel to the floor. Then back up, 3-legged dog, reach long with that leg. 2 more times, find that 3-legged plank and swing the shin. And then back up. Once more. And back up. Down dog. Drop your knees and find child's pose. You can stack your fists under your forehead, or if your forehead comes easily to the mat, feel free to find a place for the head to rest right down there on the mat. And breathe. You can wiggle your wrists around, massage the hands a little bit. Reach long with the hands, reach with the spine, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Swinging the right leg back and up. Step it forward. Drop the heel of the back leg in a bit. We're going to come up in warrior 1. Hands to heart. And again, we're going to let that right hip draw back and the left hip wrap forward. Lift your prayer. Humble warrior. I like to come into goddess here. And as you exhale, fold forward and swoop those hands back like a cape. Inhale, rise up into goddess. We'll do 4 more. Here's 1. 2. 3. 4. Bring the hands to the inside of the foot. We're going to walk again to Prasarada, to the long edge of the mat. Bend your knees a lot. Take your hands to your thighs. Pull the feet away from each other on an inhale. Rise up. Swing your arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, draw the hands behind you, lace the fingers. Keep your elbows bent, draw them back. Push your knuckles down. Feel that stretch in the front chest already. Lift the fists away from the hips and fold at the hips. As you let the head drop down towards the floor, breathe. Release the hands to the floor. Walk towards your left. Let's step back, down dog. Drop the knees, child's pose. Pause here for a breath or two. And then right back up to down dog. Now swing your left leg back and up. Step it forward. Drop the heel of, so the outside foot, so it would have been your left. I think I might have said right. Drop the heel of the right foot in, coming up in warrior one. Reach to the pinky toe edge of that back foot. Protect your knee. Bring your hands to heart. Lift your prayer open to Goddess. And then exhale, fold forward, swing those hands back. Inhale up. We'll do 4 more. Here's 1. 2. 3. 4. Bring the hands inside of the front foot. Turn towards the long end of the mat. Now draw your heels in as you bend the knees. Take the hands to the knees and we're going to rise up in a goddess squat. I always like to let my knees kind of ease into this. And then shoulders over hips, squatting down. Arms overhead, and then arms in goddess pause. Inhale, star, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, and exhale. 3 more, 1. 2. 3. Now turn the toes forward as you fold forward back to Prasarita and walk your hands more in line with the feet. Keep the fingers pointing forward, and as your elbows bend, they point behind you. Let your head hang. Your knees can be bent here a little if you need to. Now walk the hands to your right, and this time we're going to step forward, arriving in a forward fold. Keep your knees bent a lot. Feet are hip distance apart. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. And we're going to roll up slowly, letting the arms and the head hang and the knees stay bent. Inhale the arms up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway, so fingertips can be on blocks, can be on the floor, hands can even be on the shins. You're trying to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, pull the feet away from each other, swing the arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Shift your weight to your right leg. Bring your left knee up into a staff pose. Pause here for a little balance. You can challenge yourself by bringing your hands to positions that make it a little more difficult. Extend that leg long. Keep it lifted as high as you can. Breathe. And we're going to tick-tock forward without letting that foot touch the floor and come into Warrior 3. You can have airplane arms. You can have arms by ears, arms by hips, hands at heart center. 3 more breaths. Now the dismount will be Warrior 1. So on your next exhale, a nice controlled descent to Warrior 1. Swing your arms up. Take your hands behind you. Lace your fingers, open up here. Now fold forward and bring your right shoulder towards your right knee, giving you a little more space to let your head hang. Reach up with the fist. Breathe. Now release the hands to the inside of the foot. We're going to walk to the long edge of the mat again. This time turn the toes out and we'll shift from side to side. Side lunges, Skandasana. Knees should be happy with this. And position the feet so when you bend into your knee, it tracks right down the center of the foot. Now walk towards your left. Step forward. Knees stay bent. Arms are heavy. Head is heavy. Roll up with heavy arms, heavy head. Slowly, so each vertebrae gets a chance to move. Inhale your arms up. Exhale the hands home to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Swing your arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Lift your right knee, staff pose. Hold here. See how high you can keep that knee lifted. Play with the arms. Keep your drishti, your gaze someplace that's not moving. Extend the leg long. Keep it lifted as high as you can. And then without touching that foot, if you can, swoop it back like you're digging a trench with your heel. Coming into a Warrior 3. Breathe. If you stumble out of balance, just come back. 3 more breaths. Remember, our dismount is a gentle descent into Warrior 1. That wasn't as gentle as I'd hoped for. Find your Warrior 1. Make sure you're reaching into the pinky edge of that back foot. Swing your arms overhead, hands behind you. Lace the fingers. And then folding forward, bringing the left shoulder towards the left knee. Let the head hang. And breathe. Now release the hands, frame the foot. Find your way to table. Big toes come together. Let's bring the knees wide. And come back to a nice wide child's pose. You can turn your head to one side or the other if that feels good. And let everything go with your exhales. Release and relax. Surrender to the yin of our practice. Yang, that action seems to come easy to us here in the West. So much focus on action. But we need the balance and practice in relaxing in yin Comes in handy when we need it, right? If your head's turned one way, lift it and turn it the other. Breathe. Now reach long with the arms. Find your way back to table. Come to your forearms. Reach back long with the legs. Come onto the balls of the feet. So now we're in a forearm plank. Use the balls of the feet to push your chest forward as you lower your hips. We're going to come down into Sphinx Pose. Push into the elbows. Pull the hands towards you. Roll your outer thighs out and down towards the mat and draw your navel in. Breathe. Now tuck your toes, find that forearm plank again. And then maybe come into dolphin. So you might have to adjust your arms here a bit. But we're going to stay on the forearms and then walk the feet forward. Sometimes it feels good to lace the fingers. I kind of like the forearms parallel. Now back to your forearm plank. Back to Sphinx. Slide the hands a little lower on the ribs and rise up into a cobra. Keep a little bend in the elbows. Breathe. Exhale, come down. Tuck the toes, down dog. Swing your right leg back and up. Step it forward. And walk the hands to the inside of the right foot. Left foot. I'm having trouble mirroring you on this side. So this back foot is forward. I'm going to say it's your left. Now take your left hand to your left knee. We're going to twist here. You can always drop that back knee. Reach up with the left arm. And then maybe turn the palm to face behind you and bend the elbow and let that arm just swoop behind you, kind of a half bind. Breathe. Now reach up with the arm and take both hands to the inside of the left foot. Drop that back knee and we'll come into pigeon or come into lizard. So walk the hands out, or maybe blocks under forearms, or maybe forearms can come back down to the mat. Breathe. If that back knee is dropped, tuck the toes, lift it, come out of your lizard. And we're going to walk again to the long edge of the mat. Let's turn the toes outward again and do some more side lunges, maybe a little deeper this time. Maybe you even lift the hands off the floor. Maybe you even start to stack your shoulders over your hips. And come onto the heel of the long leg, shifting side to side. And then hands back down to the earth. Walk towards your right and come into a nice wide child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide. Turn the head to one side if that feels good. You can walk your hands alongside of your shins. Wiggle through the fingers and the wrists. Breathe. If the head is turned one way, lift it, turn it the other. And reach long, come into table. And then come to the forearms. Come to a forearm plank. Shift yourself forward, drop your hips, and come into Sphinx. Push into those elbows. You might have to adjust a bit here. Spread the fingers, pull the hands towards you. Feel that telescope, especially the low back, up and away from the pelvis. Breathe. Now tuck the toes, find your forearm plank, and maybe you start working your way into dolphin or a down dog. You can do down dog here too. And breathe. Stay strong in the shoulders. Find your forearm plank again. Find your way to Sphinx. Slide your hands by your ribs, lift higher, coming into Cobra. Exhale, lower down. Down dog. Swing your right leg back and up and step it forward. We're going to stay in this lunge position with the legs. Stay on the left hand. Take the right hand to the right knee. And coming into a twist here, twisting towards the right, you can reach up with the right arm. Turn the palm to face behind you and then drape that arm back there. Use that leverage with your hand around your hip to open the heart. Now unwind, both hands to the inside of the foot. You can drop that back knee if you like. Coming into your lizard. So walking the hands along, maybe coming to forearms, maybe blocks under forearms. Breathe. Now coming out of your lizard, lift that back knee. We're going to walk to the long edge of the mat again. Let's do a few more side lunges. And maybe you challenge yourself a little more this time. Paying attention to the sensation in the knees. And then rising up, let's heel toe, bringing the feet underneath the hips. Finding mountain pose, facing the long edge of the mat. Let's inhale, swing your arms up. On an exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Come up onto the balls of your feet and then lower your hips. We're going to come down into a squat, a tiptoe squat. Bring your hands to heart. Pause here. Now take your hands up between your knees, widen the knees, and stay up on the balls of the feet and bring the hands back home to the heart. Try to line the shoulders up over the hips. Stay with the breath. And reach back behind you as you come to a seat, Baddha Konasana. Let your knees drop open. You can rock here a bit on the sit bones. Take your ankles, pull on the ankles. Let that bring your hips forward, your chest forward. And then moving only from the hip creases, start to bow forward. If your back wants to round right away, you've gone too far. Squeeze the glutes together. Notice that externally rotates the thighs and gives you a little more space to fold forward. And on your inhale, rise up. Take the left hand under the left knee. Take the right hand back behind the right hip. We're going to stack the left knee on top of the right. Look over the right shoulder. Breathe. Now reach back with the left leg. We'll come into pigeon this way. So remember, you can stay on the right hip or you can roll off of it. Forearms can be on the floor, on blocks. Coming back to your sage twist. Opening back to Baddha Konasana. And we'll take the second side. Right knee stacks on left. We'll take our twist, looking over the left shoulder. And then face the short edge of the mat. As you reach back, you can stay here. You can really be on that hip. Or you can roll up onto your shin and come into pigeon. Rest your forehead on your thumbs if you can come down that far. And then coming back to Baddha Konasana. Let's extend both legs out long. Upavista Konasana. Again, adjust here. Take your big toes or hands on shins. Heart leads the way forward and down. And then rise up. Finding your way to your back again. Back where we started. Knees bent. Finding that arc in the back on the inhale. And pressing the back down on an exhale. Let's take 2 bridge poses here. So when we started, they were gentle bridges. These don't have to be the biggest bridges you've ever done, but a little higher this time. And exhale down. One more inhale up. Exhale down. Flatten the back as you land. Draw the knees up to the chest. And find your way to your shape for Shavasana, whatever that is this morning. And breathe, let it go. Again, we've shifted into the yin aspect of our practice. The softening, the relaxing, the opening, the stillness. And begin to deepen the breath and move the body in small ways. You can roll your head from ear to ear. Maybe a good morning stretch. And find your way to an upright seat. If you want to come to that from the side or rock to the top like I just did, feel free. So I hope you enjoyed the Mandala Flow. It's always a challenge to teach it. Some things get a little out of order, but it's a way to stay, for me to stay mindful, because I really have to think what I'm doing one end to the other. Let's inhale one more time together. Take what you need, and as you exhale, let go of what you don't. May you have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful world. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you Monday, 7 a.m. Have a great weekend.